Was there, and there was a ball there, and he could pot it, and he was queuing from over there or up and down and whatever. And I think you were over there. Now you could see it, but ideally, I'd like you to be here, and then as he's hitting it, walk into it there. But you're too far away. Yeah? That's all I was saying.
If it works, because it went wrong. The clock. There's a clock. The clock and the red one across.
Oh, the red one across.
Yeah, but it stopped, so they had to use a stopwatch. But we'll come to that if we have to. The one is the extension, so once you put the extension, it's right. If it works, then we have to revert to stopwatch. Stop count 10 seconds. About 10 seconds, it's not stopping. Flag when ready. 3, 2, 1, flag. Shaun wins the lag. Would you like to break?
Yeah.
First frame, Shaun Chipperfield to break. So, good afternoon, everyone. This is Event 2 winners, round 2. Shaun Chipperfield against Dave Fernandez. Shaun Chipperfield won the lag and gets frame number 1 out of the way. Excuse me, getting tongue-tied, just eating a biscuit. Joined on commentary by Michael Lamb. How you doing, Mike?
Good morning.
How's it going?
Not too bad.
Just off the back of a decent win as well, aren't you?
Well, scraped.
Scraped?
It certainly wasn't decent, no.
8-5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Craig Wadd next. So, to change a little bit for that.
Yeah, tough opponent there. But, feeling good about it?
Let's see what happens.
Confidence.
Every hour's a different hour.
Yeah. So this could be a quick and explosive game. Two very fast attacking players.
Yeah, Shaun, he just goes for them, doesn't he? He sees a clearance straight away and attacks them.
He's on a bit of form at the moment as well, isn't he? He just beat Jordan Shepherd quite convincingly in King of the Hill. Yeah. I think at one point he was something like 15-4 up. I think he ended up winning about
15-5 at the break it was.
Yeah, he ended up winning 25-18, something around about that sort of scoreline. But
he's a player that, you know, he sees a finish so quickly, and before you know it, he reels 2-3 frames off, and you know, the game's half done. Obviously, Sheppy's very similar, so they probably don't mind playing each other because they know they're not sitting down for long.
I was getting some score updates from Callum Menzies, who was at the game, and I couldn't believe the scorelines.
Another finish here straight away. Look, I played Greg yesterday on the table next to Dave, and he was actually surprisingly slow. So I don't know what he's going to play today. He obviously took out a decent win in the end against Lee Clough, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what he brings to the table now.
But the perfect start for him, 1-0. Let's have a quick look around. Some surprise results and some that I guess are to be expected. Jordan Shepherd's currently losing. He's losing to the young Moroccan Amin Bounif. Greg Batten is 2-1 up against Callum Singleton. That's a good game that's currently going on table 3, which is one of the other stream tables. Clint Hanson 2-0 against Scott Muscat. Phil Harrison 1 each against Leiden De Bono. Ben Flack 2-1 up against Jimmy Croxton. Dom Cooney 2-1 up against Mark Boyle. Darren Vicker was 3-0 against Jack Whelan. That's just ticked over to 3-1. Oli Bell 2 each against Josh Kane. Oli off the back of that win against Scott Gillespie yesterday. He'll be feeling happy about his game. Neil Raybone 3-2 up against Rich Gifford.
Straight in off the middle bag.
Yeah.
Won't be happy with
that. Steve Petty 2 each with Barry Lynn. John McAllister 4-1 up against Sean Story. Craig Lakin 2 each with Adam Davis. Shane Thompson now 3-0 against Jamie Burnett. Craig Marsh 3-2 against John Rowe, and Chris Day against Declan Brennan, 2 frames apiece.
Sean's just nicked one back against John. Be interesting to see how he plays today with the late finish last night with against Dunster.
Yeah.
You know, not too early, I guess, on these events with slightly fewer numbers, but certainly a later finish.
Yeah, just gone to 4-2. That's Sean Story, John McAllister game, so we'll keep a close eye on all of those scores as we get into the real meat of the tournament, don't we?
So he's gone reds. He's obviously seen a shot to develop the little cluster of 3 after this ball, I should imagine.
Yeah, he's going to be playing this one into bottom right and just stunning up. If you can come in behind the yellow, yeah, I think he would have hoped the yellow would have just nudged the other red out as well and tried to knock that one over the middle bag.
That's it. Can he stun into it now? He's got the balls to the right of the black. They both pass each other, so
I don't think he's quite got the angle to get into it. May just have, but he's gonna see. This pocket's playing fairly generously. This bottom left particularly. I fancy him if he just lands on it.
Nudge it out here. Just flick it.
Yeah, but again, I think players get a bit obsessed with trying to nudge balls out. I really believe that if he just plays the one just to the right of it, he's had another go.
Yeah, he's
just land on it and back yourself to pot it down the rail.
Yeah, they're obviously newly cloth tables today. They're going to play slightly bigger down the rails.
Oh dear. Hey, you see how unhappy he is about that.
I do agree, though. I think players of these standards, they should better back themselves to knock a ball down a rail.
You know, when he didn't quite have the angle to punch into it on the one that was just to the right of it, he just had enough angle just to punch across to the side rail to just roll it down. I mean, wow.
Reckless. He's got away with it.
He has, you know.
I think he can just flick the ball in the middle of the table, but
yeah,
no idea where the ball will be going. Early slap from Dave.
Really? Looking for the double.
Oh.
What a kiss.
He will settle for that.
Yeah, it doesn't really help him in, you know, as in there's no yellows around. I mean, Dave really should be looking at putting Chip in a bit of trouble here. He's got a great shot now. He can plant the yellow down onto the red, and leave Shaun snookered on his last ball. Oh no, he's hit the knuckle all the way through that. Well, that's unforgivable.
He looked like he rushed it a little bit then. He just got down and kind of took it for granted.
Yeah.
Very good shot that though, the loss of turn. I'm a big fan actually. First time I played the balls. I do like it. I
mean, that was a frame-winning shot there. If he makes the plant, he leaves Shaun in a snooker, and Shaun is in all kinds of trouble. But as you say, a rush shot there from Dave, and it's ultimately cost him the frame. It's
two elbows he's thrown in already.
Yeah, tough to call when these players are placed so quickly. It's tough to see the shots and call them in time.
Barry Lind stole 2 now against Steve Petty. Was 2-1 down.
Yeah. So it looks like Barry's turned up meaning business this weekend. Had a good win yesterday, and now playing Steve Petty.
Jordan 4-2 down.
Yep. It's funny, he's struggled a bit with consistency throughout these events. I think they need to put him on a 15-second clock, and then he'd be absolutely fine. He'd probably win every event if he was on a 15-second clock.
Yeah, he does. He enjoys the quick format, the shootout.
Yeah.
So last break, he did hit the ball straight into the middle bag, Shaun, but it did bounce out. So we'll have to see how he hits these. A little bit better. Lucky, got a nice kiss.
Yeah, the cue ball was tracking straight towards that top corner pocket.
Come up dry.
Yeah.
His break against Deck in the semis in the last event, they both hit the ball so well, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they just kept landing perfect for them. Not quite the same this time round. Reds look fairly straightforward here. He's got to mind his business with the red beneath the yellow in the black end. And obviously the black itself, but he's opened it all up. First ball.
Yeah, took a little chance there with where the cue ball was going. And he's only left himself this one to top right. The way he's been cueing at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's absolutely fine, but he needs to settle down, doesn't he? The way he's cued a couple of the shots. But now, this is fairly straightforward now. Fairly simple. Yeah, good chance for him to settle in, get his arm going properly.
Like we said earlier, Shaun's so quick at reeling off frames that you kind of need to settle very quickly against him. If not, you could be 3, 4, 5 behind.
Just got the wrong angle on this. Would have liked to have been a little bit straighter. Would have been a bit simpler. It means he's just got to run off the side rail.
Played that lovely.
Back in A1.
Very good ball.
I think well, he's going to be taking the one just below the bulk line. And then leave himself an angle on the one to top left.
He's got a lot of room there, though.
Yeah.
Looks more now from that angle. So he shouldn't have any problems. One cushion, maybe.
Yeah, it looks congested at the bottom end of the table, but it's, as you say, it's anywhere from, you know, the blue spot. He's got a couple of feet there to play into. Well, he's left it long.
Just leave himself a shot.
Yeah, I guess he's just making sure, but I think a confident Dave would have played into that gap. As you can see, the gap between his two yellows is
anywhere by the blue spot there.
Yeah, yeah.
The circle blue spot from the snooker table. Yeah, he's.
Just shows maybe a lack of confidence. I'm pretty sure that Shaun wouldn't have played it that way.
No.
But even so, it doesn't matter. He's got the desired result.
Yeah, he's going to make sure he gets his cannon correct.
Yeah, wants a full ball cannon on the second yellow up. Just run by the first. Oh, he's going to just run into the first one, leave himself longer. I thought he could just stun past the first one and get a cannon onto the second one, but
for the straight black in middle.
Yeah, no danger. Absolutely fine.
2-1.
That'll settle him down.
Not quite in prime position there, but he got them, so it'll give him a lot of confidence.
Greg Batten now 3-1 up against Callum Singleton. Callum would have fancied his chances there. I think a lot of people would fancy Callum in that game. I think if you were pricing that as a bookmaker, you may just edge Callum in that game just because of his recent form. Just won the Hearts Tour. But Greg, a formidable opponent for anyone.
Yeah, unfortunately I came up just short yesterday of him.
Yeah. Jordan Shepherd's just pulled a frame back. He now trails Amin Beneath. I can't even say it. Amin Beneath 4-3.
Rather you than me with that. Last event winner Dex just gone 3-2 up on Chris Day.
Phil Harrison now 2 each with Leiden de Bono.
Nearly straighten off again.
Try again.
Come up dry. What do you think to these new rules then that have been implemented sort of end of last year and obviously these first two events?
Yeah, I mean I like them. They're good attacking rules. Just what I like about it is they really simplify the game. There's just no. I mean, it for me it depends on what you're trying to achieve from your events or what you're trying to achieve from the rule set or what you're trying to achieve with the game. If you're trying to commercialize pool, then I think this is the perfect set of rules to commercialize it with. Because, like, I mean, I've said it before. If you're a layman, if you've never seen a game of snooker before, if you're the Martian who's just landed, and you sit down and watch a frame of snooker, within about 20 minutes, you'll pretty much know the rules.
Yeah.
You'll understand that a red's worth 1 point and the colours are worth varying points, and you pot them alternately, and I mean, you only got to watch one frame and you'll understand.
Exactly.
You could watch, 5 hours of ruled rules and not understand what was going on, and in some ways, black ball's a little bit simpler, but there's still that kind of some anomalies in it with these rules. No total fouls, no foul snookers, no totals, no. You know, I mean, there's everything's just so cut and dried and simple.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Ball in hand anywhere on the table. I mean, it's. We've said it plenty of times before, but it's the most played set of rules in the world. It's close to Chinese 8-ball, played by millions of people in China. It's very close to the APA, American 8-ball rules. So it's the most commercially acceptable and widest played. So if you're trying to attract Chinese people into your event, or you're trying to attract American people into your event, then putting up a set of rules that is quite familiar to them, you know, and commercially, China's obviously a massive market, so you know I think there's a lot of reasons to go towards a set of rules.
Yeah,
I think they're quite fun to play. They're very attacking, and what I like about it is they're clean. They're simple. They're easy to understand, and they punish you if you make a mistake, and they reward you if you play well.
Exactly right. I think the only way that I suppose you can use it to your advantage, like you can in black ball rules and world rules certain ways, is the loss of turn shot.
Yeah.
You can play a good shot and then you can be punished by it.
Yeah.
But
when you say
when
you say play a good shot, it means, I mean, what you're essentially saying is someone's covered a bag. So it kind of forces you to attack.
Yeah.
If you miss a ball and leave it over the pocket, it's not doing you any favours.
No.
And so it shouldn't. You shouldn't get rewarded for playing a bad shot.
Yeah.
And world rules never punishes you for playing badly. Like if your opponent leaves you in a really good snooker, you just go up and touch your tip on the end of the ball and leave him touching, and he's got no shot.
Exactly right.
And you get no advantage from it. And as much as I like world rules, I've played them all my life. But you know, when you look at it from a neutral perspective, they really, you know, they're really a complicated and quite cantankerous set of rules.
Yeah.
And like I say, I mean, I love them. That's all I play, really. But because where I come from, they don't have black ball rules. There's no leagues for it, you know. So
they haven't slowly come in.
No, not at all. I mean, and they just don't seem to want to bring them in. I mean, it's quite, you know, it's full of farmers and no, it's a bit in the dark ages. You know, there's five leagues and 3 of them play old EPA rules, and the other 2 play world rules, and they can't get their head around black ball, let alone supreme rules. You know what I mean? It'll never change.
A little bit far away. He's seen his finish. He just took out a nice clearance then. That's a good shot. Once again, you know, he's in the balls and they just disappear. Looked a little bit awkward at first. Nice angle here. He should be able to play it middle and stun it for the yellow in the top bag.
Wow, he's already missed one in there.
Well,
he's got no fear of what he leaves, has he? Absolutely no fear. Like, just leaves an awkward little shot, no big deal. Just nails it.
And that goes back to what we say earlier. He declined playing a ball down the rail, and you think, well, if you're not scared about leaving the ball there, then why don't you just back yourself down?
And 3 times he had to go trying to get the one off the rail. It's like, and if it doesn't go right, then you know he's caused himself a lot of bother rather than playing the percentages and guaranteeing himself a shot on it. But there we go.
Shane Thompson 5-0 up on Jamie Burnett.
Yeah, that's
a commanding lead early on.
I mean, I'm not going to say that's a. I think for me, this scoreline's a surprise. I think for me that would be a closer game. Shane is so in form at the moment; he's so practiced. Yeah. But Jamie Burnett beaten Carl O'Donoghue quite easily yesterday, and Carl barely got a look in. I think Jamie was really, really good, and I think Shane was expecting to have his work cut out today. But he means business there. That's some scoreline.
Greg's gone 4-1 up against Callum. He looks like he's kicked on from yesterday because he had a couple of shots in him yesterday. I didn't think he would have. You know, I thought it'd be more practice perhaps, or just unused to the cloth.
Yeah.
You know, he seemed to play well in patches and then really throw a bad ball in there.
Yeah.
You know, ex-England player. World rule certainly. Didn't think that would happen. Oh, look at these yellows. He's seen his clearance already.
Sheppy's just levelled things up at 4 each.
Oh, he's in again.
Sheppy's not a good. He's a good front runner, but he's not that great from behind. So he'll be wanting to get a little lead there, I think.
He's got to be slightly careful here.
That Craig Marsh, John Rowe game's good. 4 frames each. There's so many of these games that could have been shown on stream. I would have loved to have seen Darren McVicker against Jack Whelan. It was a great game to stream.
You talk about attacking players, and
wow.
He brings it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I watched him play Max down at
Plaza.
Called it Plaza. And wow.
I was there for that one.
What a game that was. Max was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
Max played the perfect game against Darren. Just he literally just threw the gauntlet down every time and said, "You go for him."
Yeah.
And if you clear, and every time he basically just said to him, "Right, there you go. You're gonna have to make a ridiculous clearance."
Yeah.
And occasionally Darren would make a ridiculous clearance, but quite often he'd break down, and then Max would just jump in. Played that tactically brilliantly.
And he's obviously the man with the 147 on YouTube.
Yes, yeah, we've mentioned that a few times on comms, but if no one's ever seen it, do have a look on YouTube. Darren McVicker's 147, I think it's 4 minutes 43 seconds, something like that, and he's spotting his own balls. Amazing.
I did say to work. He had to mind his work earlier. That ball
He's not
hit that.
He's not hit that.
That ball was slightly awkward originally. So this is a massive frame for Dave here. He didn't think he'd be back at the table. He thought it'd be 5-1 down. And he's got a good opportunity to...
I think he's got to play the snooker, hasn't he? Move his ball off the side rail, just open it up, and he's just looking now. Needs to take away the one cushion, escape at the top of the table.
Yeah.
And
I did think he'd be playing this white towards the corner pocket, but maybe it's slightly thin and he can't snooker him behind the 2 on the ball line.
Yeah. I quite like just promoting this red, and I don't think I think this is the kind of snooker that he expects Shaun to get out of it, but
he should be left a shot.
Yeah, but by the time he comes back to the table, now he's promoted one of his balls, and
he swerve this. The side might kick the yellow in, and obviously it's going to get. Oh no, he's just played the hit. Is
it going to drop? It is going to drop. Wow.
I thought he might have swerved that a little bit more. Obviously, he's just played to cover the pocket and leave a good white. He's got fortunate.
This is tough.
Wow, straight in.
All the way. Oh, Dave's going to be wondering what he's done wrong.
So, unfortunately, the snooker's no good on that occasion.
No.
But it's the right shot. And
I think it was the right shot.
I don't think you can turn the right shot down.
I think the only thing he did wrong was he probably just needed to get a couple of inches lower and take that
maybe
side cushion out.
Maybe screw it back towards the middle pocket slightly more. And
just take that shot out of the equation. Make him come off 2 cushions.
Yeah, exactly right. And if he's coming off 2, he's going to have to hit it slightly harder. Might push it safe.
Yeah.
He may have been able to knock the ball off the bottom rail and shot after and took advantage, but we'll never know.
I mean, Dave came around and put his Q-tip on the table and like. So he would have looked to see. He wanted to leave that one cushion escape, because knowing that Shaun could come off that side rail, he would have expected him to get close. And get close he did.
So I'm being told by a couple of people it doesn't sound like me at all. I'm putting my phone voice on, my polite voice.
Greg Batten's now 5-1 up against Callum Singleton. Guy's on fire.
And we did have a bit of excitement next to us in commentary. Come up dry, is he?
Shane Thompson 6-0 against Jamie Bennett now. John Rowe has taken the lead against Craig Marsh. He's 5-4 up. Chris Day's taken the lead against Declan Brennan.
He came off 11-0, was it, John, yesterday?
Yesterday, his first game he won 11-0. His second game he won 11-1.
Oh, yes, again. Jason Ellis, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's looks like he's hitting the ball well.
Yeah.
He lost in the quarters last event to Shaun.
Yeah. Of course, he was the world champion. I always get this wrong. I've got 2 years in my head. One says 2012 and one says 2007. I think it was 2007.
I had 08 in my head, so...
I think it was 07, 08. Yeah, it was around about that time. I could quite easily find out.
Yeah, he's a good stick. He's a steady player. Obviously, he's got his club in Peterborough. Home of the Hearts Tour. He needs to get these here, I think, Dave. Does he still play for England, Dave? He's still on the scene, is he? Yeah, so he'll be expecting a lot better from himself here. Looks like the yellow pass is in this corner, but maybe 3/4 of a bag. Whole bag in the end. You finding his profile?
Yeah. Singles world champion 2012. I was right the first time.
Wow, we're miles out the other guesses.
I'll tell you, the other 2007 was in my head. And it was because I was thinking about Oli Bale earlier. He was the European champion in 2007. But yeah, 2012.
Amin stopped the rot against Jordan. 5-4 up. Phil Harrison, 3-2 down against Leiden De Bono.
Yeah,
De Bono?
Maltese player. Played really well yesterday. He's come this weekend, meaning business.
Oh, he's left this finish tricky. Wow. He's really not settled out there, is he?
It's amazing how many times over the last 6 or 7 events that I've looked through the scorecard, and early in a match Phil Harrison's been losing. He seems to do it so often. He seems to have another gear that he just accelerates through.
He's the man that never gives up.
Yeah.
The man that shakes his head.
I wouldn't be at all surprised now to see him go on a heater and like just win the next 5 frames, because he just seems to take a little bit of time to get warmed up almost, and then just demolishes somebody in the second half of the match.
I was speaking to Tom earlier because he obviously played Phil yesterday, and he said he broke like God. Like he does his massive breaks, but somehow didn't punish him. Which is what you got to do against Phil. You know, he's won everything. He digs in deeper than anyone.
He's just not scared to get that cue ball running, is he? Just lets it. Just floats it around the table. Such a naturally gifted player. So good to watch when he's on it, and he's been in some good form for a little while now, for probably the last few months. Probably didn't have the best of showings last year. Didn't really feature deep in too many of the events, but what a talent.
He had his little girl Daisy came last year, so I think his mind was elsewhere. I hope it was last year. I should know that really, but
yeah.
I think the new addition and a change of lifestyle, maybe it's working for him now.
Yeah.
Dave also. He's got a new one on the scene.
Oh yeah.
I've been asked to mention Jamie Gooch. Won the Silver Q last year. Pulled out an exquisite black. He's asked me to mention him, so I've given you your glory.
8 frame. Dave Fernandez to break. Trailing by 6 frames to 1.
So it seems to be running away slightly. He's changed his break. And he's come up dry. They're very awkward. Maybe just trying to slow it down, perhaps, or...
Yeah, it's just not working for him at the moment. Not the kind of showing that Dave Fernandez would have wanted to put into this main arena table. He's a very talented cubist who isn't playing anywhere near his potential.
Maybe not enough salsa dancing last night.
If anyone is recently joining us, it's early afternoon on Saturday of the second day of Supreme Pool Series. This is the Supreme Masters, and we are watching the winners round 2 game between Dave Fernandez and Shaun Chipperfield. If you want to catch up with any of the 4 streamed games, go to the Beard Productions YouTube page and you will find a choice of 4 live games to watch. One of those being Scott Muscat against Clint Jansen, another one Shane Thompson against Jamie Burnett, and lastly Greg Batten against Callum Singleton. While you're there, do subscribe to the Beard Productions page. And we also have a new Beard Productions Facebook page. So please also head across there and give us a like.
Yeah, I had noticed that was it removed or
yeah,
blocked,
removed?
or
Yeah.
Due to what was it? Due to?
I'm not sure.
Which is a shame, because there is a lot of production teams out there, and everyone in their own rights do a very good job.
Yeah, there's a few of the live streams that have been hit with problems recently, but yeah, one of those things.
Wow, he's played a great cannon there. Slightly fortunate to land on this middle ball, perhaps. He's not be happy playing out for cushion. Slightly careless.
Kevin Boyce asking on the stream what kind of cloth. This is Strachan Superfine. That's answered by Richard Hanford. Strachan newly developed cloth in conjunction with Lee Kendall, developed last year. In fact, I think a few people had a say into what they wanted, and they've developed what you're seeing now, which is a fast reactive cloth that's been developed specifically for the pool table.
Very fast, if you look by that shot there.
Yeah, complements this Supreme table perfectly, and it comes in a choice of grey or green. It's widely available on the market.
Must admit, very nice to play on. Really nice feel under the hand.
Yeah.
I would say you get a lot more finger marks off it, which in the long run of things, if you're in a slower frame, you're trying to roll balls, may not be as beneficial.
Yeah.
But to play in the true roll on it is very nice.
Something very noticeable as well, because I know that as part of the development of this cloth, they've done something scientifically to try and reduce kicks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen hardly any since this cloth came on. Yeah.
In 40 odd frames.
Yeah.
So
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, far better, far nicer, just to be able to know you can roll the ball through dead weight. And
I mean, people talk about the chalk being the key behind kicks, but I think the cloth's playing a big part in it. Some of these cloths that have been developed now, they have like some kind of anti-kick. I don't know what it is. There's some kind of science to it, but they build it into the cloth, and it really does seem to be working.
Yeah, we won't go into the chalk debate again.
No,
I
I
don't.
don't.
A lot of that, but
yeah,
I don't know how you can have a cloth. What fibres you'd have in it to prevent kicks, but somehow someone's come up with something here.
I mean, obviously the debate of kicks and what causes them goes on and on, but I think it has to be something to do with static.
Always made a ball.
Some kind of static build-up, and I guess that they're trying to develop a cloth that doesn't build static. I mean, that's all I can imagine. But you know, compared to the blue cloth, which does seem to get quite a lot of kicks on it, this one you seem to get very few. I don't think you get too many on the Hainsworth match either. I'm not sure, but.
Hainsworth match, I haven't really played much on that.
No, I haven't played a lot.
A lot of the tournaments you turn up to, they are club tables. Obviously, they are looked after or reclothed before events, but obviously afterwards, they don't want to put that money in for your kind of Joe Blogs to come off the street and potentially rip. So, obviously, much higher price as well.
But as I say, this is now commercially available and has been since, I think, probably just before Christmas or just after Christmas. So, it comes in green or grey. It comes in the traditional green if you prefer. But, the grey was to try and create an identity for the series. I think it works quite well with this table, and the kind of balls stand out on it. Yeah, if you want to get one for home, or you want to talk to your local club and persuade them, then it's a lovely cloth to play on, and I think they're pretty hard wearing as well.
Yeah, I think these got installed. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
These all reclothed and.
Yeah, they're getting recloth for every event.
Needs to be a little bit quicker for that shot. But yeah, they seem brand new. You know, they've had club players Thursday. They've had the event yesterday and a few games this morning. So they seem.
I think Lee was saying that there wasn't anything wrong with the cloths that were on there from the previous event, but they promised to recloth every event, so they recloth. But he said the cloths that came off were absolutely perfect. And they've been in use for a couple of months.
Should buy 15 more slates, 16 more slates, and keep them in the back.
Yeah.
Well, big opportunity here for Dave. Said it a couple of frames ago. He's got to get settled, and he needs to get back into this game if he's.
Kevin asking, does it have a nap? Yes, it's a. If you've ever played on a Hainsworth match, I guess it's quite similar to that. It's almost like a little bristle, wouldn't it? As you run your hand across it, it's almost like running it across a fine sandpaper. There's definitely a nap on there, but it's a fine nap.
Yes, yeah. It's
almost not a thick nap.
It's almost like felty kind of feel as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'd probably say it's one of the nicest cloths I've had a go on. Just off the YouTube, is it?
Yeah.
So it's a big frame then.
Indeed.
He needs.
Had to win that.
Probably 3 of the next 4 to keep going. If not, he could be in trouble.
Yeah, Chippy's going to be breaking the next one as well. Just pull up the scores from the other games. Is that possible to have a look at the scores from the arena? Jordan Shepherd now taking the lead. He won 2 in a row. Callum Singleton's pulling back. He was 5-1 behind. Now 5-3. Clint Hansen was 5-0. I think, maybe wrong. But, Scott Muscat pulling back. Phil Harrison now trailing 4-2.
Not quite the 4-5 in a row just yet.
Well, not yet, but still time. He's certainly got the class to do it.
Neil Raybone racing ahead.
Yeah, Ben Flack is in a tough one there against Jimmy Croxton. Dom Cooney leading Mark Boyle. Dan McVicker, well, he had a good lead there, but Jack Whelan doing what Jack does.
Was in a bit of form of late until he played Tom, was it, or just before that?
To be fair to Jack, he didn't do anything wrong in that game. Didn't do anything wrong.
Come off, and it's obviously got a
a bit
of confidence.
Tom was just exceptional. Just exceptional. I mean, it was just a delight to watch. Obviously gone in off here, which gives Dave. That was Sean's break, wasn't it? Yeah. No, that was Dave's break. He's gone in off.
Dave's break and the ball off the table. Well, he did it a few times yesterday as well. He played Lee Clough and, wow, twice in a row we went off the table. So this means here, ball anywhere on the table. So this is where the new rules come in.
Yeah.
So if he goes straight in off, it's anywhere behind the line.
Anywhere behind the line.
Off the table, it's, you know, you now get to make a massive advantage for yourself. A couple of clusters though, so he's got a lot to do here. But I wouldn't like to write him off just yet. He's taking a bit of time. See what he does here. Looks like he might. Looks like he's going yellow to screw into this red.
Yeah.
And he'll use the yellow at the top of the triangle to potentially stun into this red-yellow cluster to the side of it.
I think he's hit that at the perfect pace, and he had to be really careful there because the red was always going to track towards the yellow. Yeah. I think he's hit it at the perfect pace.
Yeah, could have stopped in front of the first yellow he looks like he's hitting now, or gone onto the rail and prevented his other yellow going in.
Look at that for cue ball control.
So
lovely.
He's got one cannon to make, which is going to be his last ball. 3 shots time.
Does that yellow?
It goes left mid.
Goes left middle, doesn't it? Especially if he. Oh, I think
getting on it is going to be tough.
He can't get on it from here, but I mean, I just wonder if. Can
he play through the gap? Just miss the right corner. Miss the red, miss the right corner, and drop on it. Soon find out.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to go very close to the jaws if he tries to play across the red.
I think he can just screw through the gap and just leave it thinner. Or just take the kiss and leave it thinner. Either way, it's not quite sure what his plan is with the black.
Dave's got to be sitting there thinking he's got every chance coming back here.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost expect to, don't you?
If I was in his shoes, I'd be thinking I'll be coming back to the table. You need to kiss off a red, maybe. Oh
dear.
Played off the jaws across.
How does it go in the middle at that angle? It's got to be plumb to the middle of the pocket, hasn't it?
It always seems to happen.
Yeah. If you tried to pot it at that thin, then you'd struggle. If you're keeping up with the game with us, then and you haven't got any other devices that you're watching on, then it's probably worth just going across to the Callum Singleton versus Greg Batten game and just rewind it by about
a minute or so.
A minute, and watching the black that he's just rewind it a few minutes and watch the black he played in the previous frame.
So we were talking about kicks earlier, and unfortunately we've cursed him. The curse of the commentator. Well, if someone like Dave, you'd think they're still quite straightforward.
It's awkward though. I mean, well, he's still fine. Still fine. I thought he was going to leave it a bit closer to the side rail. But
doesn't want to be straight. He's done across.
Don't think he can. I think he's just may have to leave the double here. Yeah.
Yeah. It should be straightforward. Shouldn't slide off from this kind of double. Should be straight in. Wow.
Unbelievable.
It's not a Dave we're used to seeing this. Doesn't look like he's in the game. Oh my God.
What's going on? Wow.
Take you off it for 2 seconds and 2 horrendous misses. Just middle bag. Yeah.
Well, that's me. A little shake of the head from Dave.
I know Shaun's going to be kicking himself there. It's probably 95% match over at 8-2. 7-3 is...
Yep, still in it. Loudon de Bono, the first one I spot there is 5-2 up now against Phil Harrison. Jeez. Jordan Shepherd 7-6 up. Dan McVicker, Jack Whelan now 5 each. Jack Whelan fighting back.
Craig Lakin had a good win yesterday against Carl Boys.
Yeah.
Up against it today.
Yeah. Tough opponent, Adam. He always just turns up and just plays consistently. Another one of those people that, you know, if you're going to back someone, there's worse people to back than Adam Davis. He's always just solid.
Josh Kane, he was 9-7 down, yesterday. He came to the toilet break and complained he couldn't make a ball off the break. And he managed to scrape through 11-9, I think. And he's kicked on today against Holy.
It's a good game right at the bottom there, Declan Brennan against Chris Day. A lot of people would have had Declan as a decent favourite there, but Chris no mug. And Chris memorably knocked out Mick Hill in the grand final last year. So Chris, more than capable player. Samir just asked a question saying, ever think about putting numbers on the balls? I know it's definitely been suggested because they talk of nominating skill shots, and the only way you could do that is to have numbered balls because that's the only way you could track it. But personally, I don't like it. I think English 8-ball's got his own identity. I like reds and yellows. It's traditionally reds and yellows, and if you're going to number them, I mean, you might as well just use a set of stripes and spots. I think it just turns it too much towards the American game. I like the identity.
Wow.
What a break.
And it looks like these reds could be gone in seconds.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I speak with Shaun quite a lot. And he came off playing John Rowe the first time around the last event. And he just said, I just couldn't time the break. Couldn't get used to it, and he had the last couple of breaks. He said, I just hit the ball so well, and obviously went on and played him again and scraped through, and his game with Deck was phenomenal. Declan was break dishing for fun. I think yourself and Gareth mentioned that you'd never seen so many break clearances or reverse dishes in a single game.
An amazing standard. I can only imagine, I mean, for me, I would have thought he would have gone reds, but I only imagine that the yellow must pass the black to the top left, which is why he's gone yellows. But he's in trouble.
He just took us off the ball a little bit here. A couple of frames now, he's had the chances, and he's played a poor shot once again.
It should have been a really simple, straightforward clearance, but I think he can still cut this to middle bag, but the cue ball's going to be flying. Needs some luck.
Got away with it.
Yeah, he left the plant.
Got to be careful with where this first ball goes. He should be able to get on the ball closer to the black off this.
Yeah.
Might bounce on and off the cushion, but where's his first yellow going?
I think he has to play it really gently. Well, he's either going to play it really gently or he's going to play it with a decent bit of pace and try and get that yellow down over the middle.
Yeah, there we go.
And that's what he did. Played it at a good pace, actually.
He's giving himself every chance here. Once again, he's going to just be careful here, the right centre. Yeah, he's played a good shot.
Yeah, just put a tracer right hand side just to open the angle up.
We both thought reds then. We both thought reds.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Nothing like Chipper to go against what everyone thinks.
Yeah, he's definitely got his own style. And he extends his lead again to 5 frames. He leads 8 frames to 3.
So Matt McLean mentions earlier, Chippy versus Sheppy in the shootout would make some match. I think a race to 5 isn't quite long enough for them both. I think I don't know if Chippy's been invited or been asked or what. You know, with politics in the game and a couple of players missing, maybe there's a chance for an invite. I don't know how it works. Do you know, Nick, how the shoot? Is it an invite for the first 8 and then there's qualifiers for the second 8?
So the original 8 are set. They're kind of set in stone. They were the original 8, and I think that they're guaranteed throughout this event. Whether they stay the same throughout all the events remains to be seen. But the subsequent 8, they you can buy into the event basically. I think.
I know there's qualifiers, Milton Keynes.
Yeah, you can play a qualifier. So I think the entry is essentially. I could be wrong, so forgive me if I get this wrong. But it's essentially £750, but it's made up by you can either pay £440 and get £300 worth of ticket sales. Or I think if you get 750 quid's worth of ticket sales between all your mates, so whatever that is, what is that? That's 20 VIP tickets. No, 30 VIP tickets at 25 quid a head, or
along those lines.
Yeah, along those lines. So if you get a load of mates to turn up and buy a ticket, then you can free roll into the event. So I think it's basically made up of either all cash or a bit of cash and some tickets or lots of ticket sales.
Yeah.
I think. Don't absolutely quote me on that, but that's what I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
So it's effectively open to anybody. So if Joe Bloggs wants to pony up 750 quid, whether the guys actually have a veto on, they might think, well, I may not particularly want a certain person in the game. It might not be right for the game or whatever, or whether they just let it first come, first serve. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Obviously, it's on Free Sports too.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great event.
It's got
its own identity in it. I mean, it's fast, it's attacking, it's for the crowd.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I mean, I think personally for me, there's a place in the game for this kind of event.
Most definitely, yeah.
And there's a place in the game for that kind of event. This isn't, the kind of thing that you're going to get raucous crowds, cheering on the players and so on and so forth. That with all the razzmatazz and the music is almost a little bit sort of Americanized, trying to make it a little bit like Moscone Cup or something. But I think it's great. It's great for the game. Great for a viewing spectacle, and it's the kind of thing that anyone can watch.
I think that helps the sport in total. We all want to go out and play it, and I think we all whinge that there's not events for everyone, but that really does bring the game to a new level.
Ooh.
And it
Don't
does
think he played for the flick there, but hey ho.
He's missed easier, Black, so let's hope for himself. There she is. It's a cue ball. So back to Phil's got one back, so this could be that run you're on around. Yeah, you're on about, 5-3 now from 5-2.
See, just look at the England score, and Steve Smith on the verge of getting 100. I think a lot of people would argue that he shouldn't even be playing, but there you are. For whatever reasons, he's been allowed back into the game, and just about to get 100 against us. Not that I'm bitter as an England fan, I don't think him or Warner should have ever been allowed to play again, but there you go.
Cracking talent, but
amazing.
Once again,
but why would you let it all go just because of a bit of greed?
Yeah.
That's the stupid thing about it. It's it wasn't even for money. He didn't even do like a Stephen Lee or a Nosco, as it's now called. Like where you're doing it for money. You're just doing it because. If you're not good enough to win, don't. If you've got to cheat to win, I'd rather not compete.
Jamie Burnett getting back into this game with Shane. 6-0 we did see, 7-3 now.
Yeah.
So he's ex-snooker player, current snooker player?
Ex-snooker player.
Sure, so
yeah, ex-Scottish snooker player.
He's got to fancy it. Once again, rules here, so he can't now play this yellow onto red over the middle bag and B reds. That would be loss of turn.
If he potted both, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if he just potted one, then yeah, it would be a loss of turn.
Extension calls.
Greg Batten now 7-4 up.
Adam Davis, first name through, beating Craig Lake in 11-4. Craig, another one of those players, you know, he gets into his stride and cracking front runner. Played Shaun a few years ago for a sizable pot, and wow, balls of steel at the end. Unbelievable finish at 24 all.
Red's in play.
They decided to attack these reds, unsurprisingly to most. And he's play the lowest red of the three, a little bit right hand side and red in the same corner.
Just open the black up to the right centre. In fact, that's the only pocket it does go in. So I don't know if he may.
He might be able to play it. You know, he's got the ball. The one lowest to the right of the black, natural angle just to roll that in and land onto the black, little cannon to the bottom two yellows perhaps in 4 or 5 shots time. He's just got to make sure he gets on his ball next to the yellow, the balk end. Screw to the rail and looks quite straightforward for some of these better players anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I find myself doing it all the time. You just take it for granted. I think I said yesterday that I played 7 or 8 frames on that table, and after you've been watching players time and time again, just pot after pot after pot after pot after pot,
It's too easy,
balls down rails, smashing them in. You go on the table and you think,
there's the cannon to the
wow, this table looks easy, and you get on there and you realise that no, the players are just that good.
Always missed it.
Wow.
It's like when the World Snooker's on. You watch them and you think, wow, this is easy. You go down your local club and you struggle to make 8. I think we've got a little bit of a commentary curse then.
Yeah.
Last time, Gareth said Shaun's so good at bridging over a ball and misses it. Once again, fairly straightforward black there. He's just letting Dave sneak back in here. Someone like Dave who can reel frames off as well. He's got to take a lot of confidence to this. His opponent missing, and
I mean, he was out of this game.
yeah,
He had no chance whatsoever against an informed Shaun Chipperfield, but it just shows you that, I mean, Chippy is just inconsistent, isn't it? Greg Batten now 8-4 up against Callum Singleton. Yeah, it's just that inconsistency that has probably plagued his game throughout his career, really.
a lot of players do call him reckless, or a lot of players, people, fans, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's reckless. I think
it's what makes him so good, isn't it? It's what makes him the player he is. I mean, people say, yeah, call it reckless if you want, but it's what makes him so good and so exciting. And if he tried to change it, then he wouldn't be the player he is.
Exactly right.
But on the flip side, it gives him that little bit of inconsistency.
Would he be slightly more successful if he slowed down? I messaged him last game and I said to him, you know, you walked around the table and you stopped a couple of times, and you know you second looked at balls that you never really did before.
Yeah.
Phil Harrison, there we go. Couple in a row. Josh Kane's on the hill. Raybone on the hill.
Jordan Shepherd's in a tough game at the top there, isn't he? 8 each.
I don't know who this Amin Bounif.
Yeah, he joined me this morning for the opening show, and we had a chat. But yeah, he beat Kean Monaghan yesterday, and
Upcoming young player.
Yeah.
Always on the table, on it more than the cloth, I think.
I mean, you know, Kean was straight off the back of a win against Gareth Higgins the day before, and I think he went into that game thinking he was, you know, it was going to be absolutely fine. He was going to breeze through it, but the
young headless chicken,
yeah,
knowing how good he is, and
maybe. But I mean, you know, it's easy to take these players for granted. I mean, Amin's come across from well, he's Moroccan, but he lives over in France. But you know, it just shows how good he is. Here he is, 8 each against Jordan Shepherd, and he's got one of the best players in the world struggling. So you know, it's easy to take these people for granted, but he's putting on a really good showing this weekend so far. Shaun Story now 8-7 up against John McAllister. He was trailing there, wasn't he?
Yeah, John. We said earlier how much would last night take out of him against a very class Liam Dunster. Wow, what hasn't he done in the last couple of years?
Yeah. Again, that one just a little bit loose, just canning into the yellow, and it's pushed over that red. It shouldn't cause a problem, but it just means that he needs to play it from top side.
He looks like he's got something wrong with his tip. Has he got a little bit of fluff on the side? He keeps going to wipe around it, causing maybe something with his eyes. Overrun that, has he? Hard to see from this angle slightly. He's not quite as composed up there as early doors.
Yeah, this now is just
you'd think
a bit awkward,
5 frames ago this was dead and buried, this frame, and he's just got to make sure he misses this black here. Stun across the face of the red. Like that, that's a good shot.
Yeah, played that very well. And now,
once again,
just a little dink.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Beautiful. Nice,
Strange,
yeah, really good. I mean, even when he's not playing well, he's still just so dangerous because he can just go out there and just, you know, in 30 seconds he's got the clearance. Yeah, he's definitely got a little something there, and it's just trying to maybe just a few loose fibres on the side of his tip.
There we go, as you can see, having a play with it. You can see the scuffle on his knuckle there, coming down the stairs here, hits it against the wall.
Yeah.
Starts bleeding and then thinks, oh, just what a cue from Darren McVicker, Jack Whelan. What a game. 7-all. Decky's gone ahead. Topsy-turvy game with Chris Day. 7-6 up. McAllister just gone 8-all there. So Shawnee won an event last year? Was it last year? No, sorry, he won one of the amateur events here, didn't he? A couple of years ago.
Who's that, Shaun Story? Yeah, he got to the final last year, didn't he?
Cracking player when he plays.
Yeah.
Choice of shoes slightly untoward at times.
There's a few of those there. I mean, John McAllister wears a big shinies, isn't he? Ben Rowland with the sparklies.
Yeah, wow, it's like we're looking at Judd Trump this morning walking in here. Yeah, he looks the business off the table. Haven't seen much of him play. I know he's come up against Shaun last event. Sheppy first ran this event. Did he win this game earlier? Did he lose? He played, was it the young England player? Jamie Mantle, was it? Let's have a look.
I think he lost, yeah. He lost 8-4.
Yeah, 8-4,
so
yeah.
He's out, yeah.
So, well, Kean decided to go home last night, did he?
Yeah.
Wow. Craig Marsh knocked out John Rowe. So John, after losing 1 frame in 23, has really been... Oh, Shaun's missed
another miss.
Straightforward plant there. So, wow, coming up on stream next, Chris Melling, Liam Dunster. Be a very good game to watch. A slightly more defensive approach from Liam, and a all-out attack from the magician himself.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. You got Scott Gillespie. He was big loss last night for him. You know, he's 2 finals last year, man in form.
Huge. Yeah.
And
I mean, massively on form. He's obviously won the Euros a couple of weeks ago as well.
That's it. Yeah, I forgot about that. You got Lee Clough, Arfan Dad. So Arfan was ran into Shaun and Lee Clough ran into Dave, both playing here now. And then finally got Liam White, Jake McCartney coming up at around 2:30 to bet on table times. So Liam ex England youth captain, I think, certainly under 21 captain back in the day, when that team was formidable. Kept himself in there for years. Slightly short here. He might have to play a gentle cannon, so he can't play the skill shot here, can he? If that black drops, am I right in saying it's loss of frame? If he'd have potted the ball and potted the black, it's a loss of frame, so have to be careful there. Whereas these black ball players would have played it to pot it in their chance they know it's over the bag. Once again, you know, just got to be slightly careful and just got to be mindful of the rules. 9-6. A lot of work to do. He's got to win 5-1.
Frame.
The local man, Neil Raybone, threw against the Gloucester man, Richard Gifford. Beat him at 11 frames to 4. Neil local to this club. He practices here. He likes playing on these tables.
That's never come up your eyes, no. 2 of the last 3 balls rolled in, drop in for Dave. So Dave broke there.
Josh Kane's just beaten Oli Bell, 11-5, so only off the back of his win last night against Scott Gillespie is now into the loser's side.
Steve Petty, 3 in a row, I believe, against Barry Lynn in a topsy-turvy game, along with Chris Day, Declan Brennan, 7-all. Very, very close. Who's your most exciting player, or your favourite player to watch then, Nick? If you could watch back a couple of videos, would you go for the slow and steady and methodical clearance, maybe Harrison, or you like the more exciting prospect? Your neck of the woods, Darren, or?
I love watching Darren play. When he's on it, I love watching Darren. I mean, Jordan Shepherd's a good friend of mine. I love watching Sheppy play. But equally, you know, I've got a lot of time for Phil.
Nicest bloke out there, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, such a nice guy. Just has time for everyone. I can't say it enough. I mean, I say it all the time on comms, but he just makes an effort. Even when he left the interview yesterday, just comes across and makes sure he says hello to Paul and George and the team, and just makes time for you.
He's one of those players that you're at the table and he always looks unhappy. He's always shaking his head because he's not quite perfect. Yet off the table, he's, he, like you say, he makes time for everyone. He's
amazing.
He's like the polar opposite. He's the happiest man rather than kind of beating himself up over 2 mil on a positional shot.
And he's so humble. It's ridiculous. He's and the thing I love watching about him is his cue ball control. His economy of cue ball is better than anybody.
Had to be careful there because he missed a similar double earlier.
Yeah.
And now he's made sure of the double, but he's probably
just
just
nick this
sneaking. Yeah, good shot. And
it's okay. I thought if that rolls another 2 inches, then he's in trouble because it doesn't double.
Yeah, good ball. So back in it, 9-7.
It sounded a bit clicky when he potted that shot. Whether he hadn't chalked his cue or whether it just didn't sound particularly good. Scores on the doors. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I think the answer's different depending what day it is. I didn't really answer your question. Now I give you about 4 different answers. I think generally it depends who's informed, doesn't it? Because
they're all so good to watch when they're on it, aren't they?
For me, like Jordan Shepard's A game is better than 99% of people's A games. I mean, there's only a few that are better than him. I mean, Tom Cousins' A game is the best in the world. It's
he's relentless at times, that boy.
Yeah. But Jordan in full flight is just an absolute joy to watch.
So Shaun's break here. He needs to make a ball. And he has made a yellow into right centre, and once again
I was flirting with the
yellows look on except from that first ball.
Flirting with the left centre with that cue ball.
Can he play this ball just above the white, off the red, to be yellows? Because he's not really got a starter here.
Yeah.
That would open up the ball in the middle of the ball.
Yeah, I think that's a shot, and it opens that pocket for the yellow in the
centre of the ball.
In the centre, yeah. I think he's seen it.
But he's got to be, once again, he's not quite there. You can go reds, and he can play the bottom red, and either way, you can flick the red on the side, right out with side. But
he's going to play your original shot.
Yeah, and he's played for the ball on the bottom.
That's good.
So that's fine. That other ball going in, that makes no odds. He is yellows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first ball you contact that you have to pot. And if you pot another one, it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what, the ball close to the black, does that now go bottom right? Which obviously it wouldn't have done before.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not far enough. I think no, he's still covered. I'd like to have been a little bit further here. So once again, Dave's probably sitting there thinking, well, I'm certainly not out of this frame at this moment in time.
It's a good shot, but no, he's in no man's land here. He's left there.
He'll be playing a plant or something ridiculous.
Yeah, a really smelly plant.
Dave's going to be thinking again. Oh, it goes. Wow.
Oh, it does go. Goodness me.
Fair enough. Sorry, everyone.
Gap right through there.
We didn't have that view there. It certainly didn't look like it went.
No.
And Shaun in complete control again. Yeah, screw back for the black in the same middle as he's just potted in. So that's a massive frame then. Big frame that. Dave's got himself from 7-2 to 9-7. He's 10-7 now, of course.
Chippy gets himself to the hill. It's 10-7. Eight-6 now. Greg Batten against Callum Singleton. He had a chance to go 9-4, snookered himself on his last black, and he's been punished by a couple of frames there. He's currently on a finish, so he should go 9-6.
We can see we've got some Southwest commentators and the production crew loving Greg.
Well, yeah. It's not just that. We also have a financial interest because we put him in the series.
Oh, fair enough. Even better then.
So
you can pay me off for my defeat yesterday then.
we have that Southwest connection. Plus, he's a good friend of Paul's. Plus, yeah.
Lovely bloke as well.
Yeah, he's a smashing guy.
Oh,
and if you ever get a chance, ask him to show you some card tricks.
Oh no.
He's an amazing magician.
Takes a few quid off people on and off the table.
No, as a magician.
Oh,
He's
okay.
A brilliant magician. Like sleight of hand card tricks.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'll catch up with him later, no doubt.
Yeah, if anyone ever sees Greg at a live event, he is absolutely superb. He won't thank me for saying it because he's always quite shy about doing it, but he's really, really good.
That's the only problem there with the shark rack. I don't know if anyone noticed that bottom ball. At the small pace, it just does.
Yeah, it just
flexes. It flexes up and stops that yellow.
Yeah.
You know, that yellow could have been slightly more awkward then,
but I kind of think.
But it opens the game up. So for me, it's a must.
I think that there's a trade-off, and people often talk about, well, that ball would have gone and run another inch. Yeah, but like every table, all the cushions play differently.
Exactly.
So,
right, yeah.
so on one table, no one ever mentions the fact that, well, that cushion's more bouncy, and the ball would have travelled another inch if it was. Do you know what I mean?
Take your point for granted there.
It's the same kind of thing. It's just like you broke, and sometimes that yellow stopping is going to be in your favour, and sometimes it's going to be against you. And it's all going to level up at the end of the day. And for the amount of open frames you get, I think
it's brilliant for the game itself.
Just a simple little trade-off, isn't it?
I think, I seem to come up dry all the time and break. That's a loose shot. He's got away with it slightly. I really struggle with breaking. Listened to Gareth a few times last year in the series saying he'd chuck a fiver to a few kids, rack them up, and he'd just practice. And fair play to him for putting that time in. He wasn't the best for any old reason, was he?
Yeah.
But with these shark racks, for me, it's a bit more of a leveler, I feel.
Yeah.
It allows me personally to go for finishes I probably couldn't go for before. There we are. There's Dave. He didn't fancy that finish, and he did it against Lee yesterday. He kind of tried to slow the frame down. Playing someone like Shaun, it's not the worst thing to do.
Sheppy's on the hill now, 10-8. Go back and did win that frame, and he's 9-6. Steve Petty now 9-6 up against Barry Lynn. I think he trailed that 6-5, so he's won 4 on the bounce.
McAllister, he's edged ahead of Shaun.
Yep.
That's some great ties. You go through the list of players at this event. You're missing a lot of players as well. Obviously McKill's not here, Farnsworth's not here. Obviously Potts doesn't play himself. I'm sure it's a lot more names, but the depth in this event is fantastic. There's never a dull game.
Australia made 297, so I think England will back themselves to.
Did he knock his ton in?
Yeah.
There we are. Look, Shaun's gone all out again and prevails perhaps.
Yeah, 116 out.
What an innings. So Dave, he turned down a pot to yellow there, a pot yellow to middle there, and just to try and tie the balls up, but he did give Shaun that extra. He gave Shaun that extra kind of target to another ball to pop out. Slightly loose shot there. He's had to play a delicate one with running side. There he is. There I don't know. He doesn't quite seem 100% focused as of yet. But they do say you don't want to play too well too early. Certainly snooker-wise, you hear it a lot from Virgo, Hendry on the commentary box. They always say
grow into the event, and
exactly
it's like
right.
Just build into the.
Doesn't want that to drop. Doesn't want that to drop.
Yeah, no shot.
And that could be his last. I don't know. Has he got a plant down the corner here? Yeah, just to tie this bottom right corner up. He's going to leave Shaun a shot if he plays it regardless. Where's the cue ball? He's tied up. He has obviously left Shaun a shot. He's probably left him a big pocket. Either red in the centre of the table, at the top end. Higher up on the table, off the cushion, off the yellow to open it. He's attacking the balls.
You see Jamie Bennett in the background there.
There he is, yeah.
With the black and white shirt, sporting the Nick Finn style haircut.
Liam all smiley as usual. The Nick Finn haircut.
There's a lot of people going for this style now, you know. It's quite popular.
Played that wrong. I'll go to the barber's Tuesday. Can I have a Nick Finn, please?
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. It's what Shane Thompson asks for nowadays.
So this is another classic version of the loss of turn shot. Has he played it?
He's not.
Just about.
Oh, just got there.
And this is where the rules are. I do like it. You know, Shaun's played a very loose shot to try and take bottom right, and it's punished him by really being tied up here.
Yeah. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see him put out some kind of magic here, though.
What's he playing? He's going to try. He looks like he's going to try and play the skilly, but whether he can play it now or not is.
I think I would have preferred to try and get down to the left-hand side of the one nearest the bottom rail and pot it underneath the yellow and leave some kind of double.
Double on the.
This skill shot is really low percentage.
Yeah, I wouldn't back many players playing this. 1, 2 out of 10 at best, I think. You're looking to glance.
He's carrying into the black. He might actually pot 2 yellows here.
Yeah.
He might pot 2 yellows and no reds.
There we go, it's 1. No.
There's one of them.
So he's played the loss of turn, and well, he hasn't played the loss of turn, but it's worked out. It's a loss of turn, and he has left Dave. He has left Dave an awkward ball at the top. He's going to leave Shaun Angle to play his red across and go across the face of the other. He's always got a do or die ball just right at the black spot. And he's got to get it, because you've got to fear that. So here we go. What's he playing? He's got to put it. If not, you've got to think it's his last, and it's looking good. Where's the cue ball?
Oh, no. No, disaster.
Game, set and match, you've got to feel. Sorry for the breathing in there in everyone's ears, sorry. So Phil Harrison was 5-2 down, got back to 5-all, but Lydon's just gone 6-5 up. As we look at the conclusion of this game here. Don't think you can argue with the winner, but he would have wanted it a lot more comfortable than this. Back to the hotel room for Shaun. Chris Day, 8-7 up on deck. There's some good tussles going on. There's your winner, walking off.
Yep.
Grumpy as usual.
Well, we're going to get Mr. Grumpy into the interview room. We'll have a few words with him in just a minute. But for now, thanks, Michael.
No worries. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate
problem.
it. It's good stuff. And as I say, we'll have a talk to Shaun, and probably, knowing Lee Kendall, he'll be dragging another winner in here as well. So hopefully we'll have a couple of people to talk to. But we'll be across there in just a couple of minutes. Speak soon. So joined by Shaun Chipperfield off the back of that win. Also Michael Lamb, who's joined me on commentary, who's just watched that game. I mean, that's a good win. Dave obviously probably didn't play his best, but you know you can only beat what's in front of you. And you know you started really well, played really well. Probably just dropped off a little bit in the middle of the game, but did what you had to do.
Well, yeah, I dropped off early, to be honest with you. The first 2 frames, I don't know, I just weren't concentrated. Yeah. I know I had a good clearance first frame, but then I think I missed the ball in the middle second frame with a bit of side, and it just kicked into the red. And I don't know, I just wound myself up from that, I think. Yeah. And I struggled badly. I'm lucky that Dave struggled as well, because if he'd have played half decent, he'd have beat me.
Yeah, it was early on, and well, I say early on, it was halfway through the game in 7-2, and it almost looked kind of dead and buried for him, and a couple of loose shots, and I don't know, head not quite there on a finish, and he kind of allowed him into the game back to 9-7.
I've done that a lot recently. I get ahead and I just got a bit slack. I have sort of got 7-1, 6-2 ahead, and then next thing I know I'm 8-5, 8-6, and I'm in a game, and I'm just sort of sitting there, you know, just thinking what the hell's going on. So I don't know what it is. I've got to obviously work on that, but I'm pretty tired. I've had no sleep really either, so that doesn't help.
But I mean, overall, your form over the last few months. I mean, obviously making the semi-final of the last event, really good deep run, and then obviously King of the Hill, great win against Jordan Shepherd. I mean, you were in control of that game all the way through. Again, it looked like he might just fight back at the end, but you kind of stamped on that. I didn't watch that game.
Yeah, the King of Hill was a bit different. A race of 25, you know, your opponent was going to reel off a few frames, and I was 15-5 ahead, but I knew he'd come back. You know, every top player does. You're going to have that sort of run, but you know, I was happy the way I held myself together in that, because I just kept him at arm's length and won quite comfortably in the end. But I have been playing quite well and hitting the ball well. Didn't show there, but don't know what that's down to. That's probably my worst sort of match I've had for a while, to be honest with you. So I do feel grateful that I'm through.
A lot of table time though against Tom, putting in the practice.
Well, not as much as you'd think.
He doesn't like to, does he?
He's always on the table, don't worry about that.
That's not what he tells me. He tells me he never practices.
No, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that, trust me. But no, we don't play like every week. You know, sometimes if we've got like this sort of tournament, we might have a game during the week leading up to it, but you know, we're sort of 20 miles away from each other, so it's not really on our doorstep, if you like. And obviously I work full time as well, so it's quite hard for myself to get the time to play. How do you fit it in? You know, you've got a young family now as well, so it's got to be hard. That is hard. I've got to understand a miss or two. Lets me go out most evenings, you know, especially for a big event. I might go out 3 or 4 times that week. So, but apart from that, if there's no tournaments, I hardly play. So I think that's maybe why I'm quite inconsistent. Just that little bit of inconsistency. But like I said, I've been hitting the ball well, and you know, I'm quite confident really. But I'm not going to reflect on that too much. You know, I know it's just a bad game, but you know, I know it's there. I know the game is there, which is one positive from last year really, where I weren't really happy in life itself. So that kind of affected me on the table as well. Sure.
Couple of hours off now. Back to the room. Head down. Switch off for a while. I
think Tom's on in a bit, so. Got the room to myself. So, I'm definitely going to probably have an hour's kip if I can.
No worries, you're not going to support me then?
What time are you on?
No. Oh. no, go get some sleep. Go deep, run deep, mate. That's fine.
So obviously next for you is, I think it's going to be the Darren McVicker or Jack Wheeler in this. They're currently 7 each. I mean, you against Darren, that could be fireworks.
We've played here before, and that was a quick game. That was quite close. I won that one, but. Both players are quality, aren't they? So,
of course,
I just worry about my own game, that's it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to worry about it after that, but hopefully I can improve a little bit.
Brilliant.
Get my head on.
Thanks, Shaun. Best of luck for the rest of it.
Cheers.
So coming up next on the main arena table, we couldn't have a bigger contrast of styles. It's going to be Chris Melling against Liam Dunster in the losers round. Stick around for that game. It should be a cracker.